Good afternoon. Today is the 20th of March. Apologies for the wind noise. As you can see, I've got the Seat out today up front because it's time to talk about something that I last really went into about a year ago. In March 2019, I made a video about what should replace this wonderful Seat Toledo. It's a 2017 Toledo 1.0 TSI Xcellence. It's a 110 brake horsepower model, and it's powered by a 1-litre 3-cylinder turbocharged engine. The wind noise is pretty bad out here, so I think I'm actually going to go inside the car and I'll talk to you more about what we're going to be looking at in a short time. So yes, you would have seen my Toledo video. I'm sure one of them, the two most popular videos in the early days of my channel. Sorry to adjust that there. The two most popular videos on my channel back in the sort of early years, before I started getting into a lot of Ian Seabrook stuff and then modern MG things, were to do with this car. One of them was the first video that was ever uploaded to the channel in September 2018, which was the first episode 2 jacket reviews on this car. In January 2019, I did an 18-month ownership report about this car, and that actually was very successful for the time anyway. A lot of you, I imagine, might have seen that. I don't know, some of the people who've recently joined the channel have done, but you can see the full episode of 2 jacket reviews on this car, and also the 18-month ownership report. There's also loads of other ownership reports. Those haven't done so well for some reason. I don't really know why, but I'll put a link to them in the description below. Just to be clear about the ownership of this car, I got it in July 2017, and we've done about 27,500 miles in it so far. I'm on a PCP with Seat through Barclays Partner Finance, and I put down a £3,000 deposit, and I'm paying £155.75 a month for the car. It was a 37-month agreement, so the agreement ends in August 2020. I have been looking into some options to replace this car, although it has been fantastic. There are no direct replacements of this car. The nearest equivalent would be something like the Skoda Scala, which is much more expensive than this car, or maybe the Seat Leon ST, but again, that's a lot more expensive than this. So let's go over some possible options. One of the things to bear in mind is that the Skoda Octavia and the Seat Leon ST, along with a lot of other VW Golf based models, are being replaced or just discontinued quite soon. The Audi TT, I think, is still based on a Golf platform actually, and so that's been discontinued in 2021. The Golf itself has just been replaced by the Mark 8. The Leon and Leon ST, I don't know when they're coming into showrooms, but it's quite soon. The Octavia is probably a little bit longer, so that's going to stay on sale. And of course the Audi A3. That, I don't know when that's coming up, but there is a new one around as well. So those are all the Volkswagen-based cars. Now, of those I've mentioned, the Octavia and the Leon ST are probably the most attractive to me, and it would just depend on the sort of model and the engine and also the deal that's out there. I'd happily have either of those, but we'll have to see. Another car that I've looked at is the Fiat Tipo Estate. Kind of half jokingly, of course, the Fiat Tipo Saloon was one of the big jokes on my channel toward the end of last year. I subsequently did a walk around on one, and it just doesn't really quite suit me in terms of the specification and things like that. So I won't be getting a Tipo Saloon. The Estate is better, the equipment is a lot better, the engine choice is a lot better. It's available in some nice colours as well, but I don't know. I don't really know if I really want to have a Tipo Estate for 3 years or thereabouts. I don't really know if that's what I would want really, ideally. So yes, let's think about some other things too. I could look at a Skoda Scala which is replacement with a Rapid, and the Rapid Spaceback, and also a Toledo itself. 3 models were pretty much replaced just by one. And the cars made in the same factory where the Toledo and Rapid were made. It's in the Czech Republic, actually. I have driven a Scala, and some of you might have seen a walk around I did of a Scala on my channel back in last July when the car was very new. I tested a 1.5 litre model with an automatic gearbox. That is a nice car, but if you want the spec that I would require, you'd be looking at a very expensive car. The Octavia, actually, spec for spec, is slightly cheaper. Don't really know why, because it's a larger car. But there we go. Other things I've been looking at are the Hyundai i30 Tourer, the Kia Ceed SW, I think, the estate version, not the Pro Ceed. And then there's other things I could consider, like the MG ZS 1 litre automatic. That's a very good car. And I could also look at things like the Suzuki Vitara. That's also a good car. Those do have a little bit less boot space than the car I've currently got, and SUVs sometimes carry a bit of a price premium. So, yes, maybe that's not something that's going to be suitable, but who knows? There's plenty of things on the market. The other choice may perhaps be the Vauxhall Insignia. There's plenty of those around that are maybe a year old, that have done low mileage, and yes, they're all quite well equipped, actually. So yes, possibly one of those. The Astra, I don't think it's available as an estate anymore. I think that's a pre-facelift one only. But I could look at an Astra estate, I suppose. The engines in those pre-facelift are pretty good. The post-facelift ones are even better. So I could look at one of those. Obviously, I'd maybe want to look at a 6 to 12-month-old one, because the depreciation on those is absolutely terrible. But there we go. I think that's most of the things I've been looking at. I'd be interested to see from the rest of you what you think about sort of all this, and you know, where you can find the sort of space, level of equipment, and the economy that this car offers. I'm getting 55 miles per gallon, sometimes 60 out of this car. I've got all sorts of lovely things in here, like part leather interior, full LED headlamps, sat nav, and everything like that. One thing I really will need from a new car, apart from something I would like to have, but I've mentioned, would be Android Auto, and obviously Apple CarPlay for those who've got Apple phones. This car does have functionality built in. Seat call it full link. However, it's disabled in this car. It was actually an option on the post-facelift Mark IV Toledos like this. I think you had to pay £200 to have it enabled, and I've shown it in other videos as being non-functional. I think that's a real oversight on Seat's part for not enabling that so people could use it. That's one thing I'm looking forward to. Everything else, I'd like things like automatic wall lights and wipers. I'd like probably adaptive cruise control and things like that, but I can live without them. It's just be nice to have, I suppose. So there we are. The 2020 edition of what should replace my Seat Toledo. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like it, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and if you wish me to source a car for you, I am still out sourcing cars at the moment. I did one just this week, in fact. Then please get in touch with my website, www.lloydvehicleconsulting.co.uk. It's a bit of a funny time in that people's journeys have to be necessary to go out, and sometimes they are. The client that I will work with this week, his car had expired because it had a broken cam belt, so he needed a new one, and that's what I did. So obviously there are situations where people would want to buy cars, and the dealers are still open, a lot of them at the moment, although who knows how long that's going to last, I don't know. But anyway, if you want to visit my social media, then it's facebook.com/Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching.